Ha ha.
Ha ha. I did not watch the debates.
Oh, live.
10.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Slick Rick in the house. Going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's here. It's going to do some news. David's here. Got some news as well. Aaron Friend holding it down. Harry on the highway. In the building. Hope everybody had a great day. Great Friday as we head into another, looks like it's going to be a good weekend. Weather's going to be nice.
Oh, my Not bad.
Schedule's a little light. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D, on a Friday night.
Got some rodeo tonight?
I got rodeo tonight on Friday night. We're going to talk about Nike's stock. It's 19% swooshing away, the customers are. And Bryson DeChambeau says he's going to settle the Biden-Trump golf swing and story score. So we'll see about that.
You know,
That was a classic.
That was a classic. Swing. I've seen you swing.
All right. 8 handicap. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
6.
that was, you know.
That was beauty.
I think Biden at one point said you had sex with a hooker while your wife was pregnant. I think the president actually got more upset about the handicap than he did about that line.
I think he did too.
Don Jr. posted a video on X. I don't know if it was really Biden, but he hit the ball backwards. Did you see?
Yes, he did.
I'm sure it was. He certainly did that last night.
Bozo hit it off a rock, yes.
Right.
Yeah, the president, I think, was truly... that's where that's where really he dug his feet in.
Oh, yeah.
Is when it came to handicaps in golf.
Yeah, you would think
only golfers would appreciate that.
Yeah.
You might want to pick a different sport for a guy that owns golf courses.
Courses, right.
Plays with pros. Won his own tournament.
Yeah. Best presidential golfer in the history of the world.
I know you swing. I must have listened to that clip like 100 times.
That was the best.
I know you swing. I've seen you swing.
I'm golfing for 40. I'm golfing for, oh my God, am I golfing for 50 years? And I'm still a 15. So to claim you're a 6
a
or an
15,
8.
David?
Yeah.
I know you swing. I've seen you swing.
I mean, but that's bold.
He's
bold.
talking about the first hole. He's a 15 on the first hole.
Well, but you know
Front
about
nine.
I think the stat is about 80% of people who play golf around the world, however many hundreds of millions of people that is, whatever it is, can't break 90.
Yeah, Rush Limbaugh said the average golfer shoots a 116 and the rest are liars.
Exactly.
Right.
So, well, anyway, so... I mean, I don't even know where to start about last night. Before we get to that,
I don't even know what happened.
It doesn't matter.
Did something happen last night?
Delgado, how are you?
I feel like I woke up and something happened. Did I miss it?
No, you didn't miss it.
Was it actually what happened?
No, it wasn't
dreaming.
It was not a dream.
It wasn't a nightmare for the Democrats?
Well, you know, it was. I think it was, but watching them today reminds me of like being at the casino and you're up big. But you did it in like the first 10 minutes, and you're like, "All right, I'm going to leave." Oh no, I'm not going to. Like, we're going to lose this guy. This guy's got to go. And then today, it's like, of course, Clinton, Obama rallies the wagons, and then Biden goes out there today and looks, not like death worn over. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Whoa, well, wait a minute. Maybe I'll just go play another machine and see if I can, maybe let me give it one more shot here." That's kind of what I felt today was like. Obama comes out. With this big tweet. Well, bad debates happen, but Clinton, same thing. So they know they have no choice. Unless Joe is all on board, New York Times editorial board tonight comes out. If Joe wants to do something for his country, he should get out of the race. I mean, well, Biden's never been in any of this his whole entire career for his country.
Yeah.
So that's out the window immediately.
Totally true.
I mean, if there's not dollars involved or something for him or his son or his crooked family, I mean, come on.
Terrible.
For his family. I mean, for his country. What are you talking about? He's not going to leave for his country, and his wife's not going to let him leave.
Oh, see, and that was something I was thinking about today. She has got to be... everybody tries to make it off like, oh, Jill Biden, she's she's a teacher and she's a doctor. She is an evil woman. You could tell she is the problem. that the Democrats are going to have getting him out. Why? Because she's in control.
She loves Air Force One.
She is drunk with the power. She loves being first lady. You could tell. Because at that thing after what do you go to some little party or something afterwards?
Oh. Yeah,
she was the one on the
Joey,
microphone.
You answered all the questions.
Yeah.
You ate all your crackers and you finished your milk.
Yeah. She's a good funeral director, though.
Questions.
She is she is.
I think she's
nasty woman,
and she spoke for him today.
Of course.
Yep.
And like I pointed out last night, and nobody was really paying attention because we started paying attention to the all the CNN reaction, which was. They were devastated, and I saw them post it this morning, and I quickly tweeted it. Was that long shot of CNN with Trump, basically exiting stage right, just walking off, normal, under his own power, and what happens? Jill has to go fetch her husband off the stage because he doesn't know where to go, and he might fall. And she's got to walk him. She had to walk him down those stairs, and he was walking up to the debate moderators, and he's probably thinking, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming. I didn't know you were here, kind of thing.
Thanks, Chris Wallace and Chuck Todd. Good job.
Yeah, and he probably thought they were going to be real happy to see him, and they were probably like, oh my goodness, what the hell just happened? It was wow. Did that really happen?
It did, and she was really there screaming afterwards about Joey did a great job. You answered all the questions.
I heard Kamala threw a hissy fit today.
Oh, she threw a hissy fit last night, right?
I didn't see a hissy fit. I just saw her come out. I said it on the stream. They had her when she's your go-to plan to get out there and try to brush things over. Kind of tells you where you're at. But they dialed her all up, gave her a nice shot, put an American flag behind her. Real nice lens, nice depth of field, perfect shot. They could do a real presidential shot. I noticed it from the production side right away. Normally she's out. Look like they're shooting around an iPhone, and she's out there. Well, I'm not going to argue that it's a slow start. She says,
"Yeah, slow start."
Joe's ready to go. Kamala.
Oh, she's a funeral director now.
Well,
Jill.
So I don't know what. I'm sure she was out there today doing television and radio. Because what else are they going to do?
I thought last night she was a little bit combative because they were like, I don't know exactly what was said. I just remember her being combative, and I was listening to it driving home. I'm like, ooh, she's not happy because they're calling it out that he didn't have a good debate. And she's like, well, there was a contrast. And I'm just thinking, yeah, there was a contrast. Somebody who could actually do something, and then you have Joe Biden, who couldn't do anything. I think the only time, and it was Dana Bash who did it, and I forget exactly what Joe Biden said, but he was babbling on. Oh, it was the rape question. Remember, he started talking about immigrants and rape. He goes, well, there are people that get women that get raped by their family members and their sisters, their brothers, and their uncles, and nobody's doing anything, something like that. Yeah. And she just like, thank you, and she cut off his mic.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to say, they saved them one, and then the really bad one, the first one that we all almost fell off our chairs. When we beat Medicaid or whatever the hell he ended it with.
Oh my God!
Jake Tapper cut him off right there. Okay, thank you. Okay,
yeah. Trump goes, you beat it to death.
Slams him.
Great.
I'll tell you. Well, first of all, I didn't welcome officially David Zier tonight. Mr. Zier, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
So you were over at the America's First Warehouse, and as we continue to reminisce about last night, just really unbelievable. Give us a sense of, take us in the room. At the America's First Warehouse, you had 200, 300, 400 people there. It was a really great crowd.
Yeah.
Give me the sense as normal people were watching this on the big screen there.
Well, they are normal people. They're all working class people, and that's what MAGA is, right? And they were upset because they're seeing these outrageous crimes. This new murder up in Syracuse from an illegal who crossed the border through San Diego, was let back into society. The 15-year-old raped in Queens by a Turk who was also let out. led into society here, people are done and people are fed up. So they were fired up. It was probably the biggest, most enthused crowd that I've seen there in several years.
But what was it like in real time? Like people watched our stream, they saw real time reaction to things that happened.
So
like when Biden went on this, like what were people inside the room?
Man on the streets there while the debate was going on and interviewed people. And one lady came up to me and said, "This seems fixed." And like CNN was letting this happen.
But was there like laughter? Was there like a gasp?
No,
was there
there was like people just couldn't believe what they were hearing. There was gasp. There was audible gasps. Trump had a few zingers, so they were like, really fired up on that regard. But I think there was a sense of like sadness in the room to a degree because, not only was Biden incoherent, but they let this happen. I think this is part of the plan. I think they let this happen.
In what way?
This can all unfurl. I think they're going to take him out.
Yeah.
So, I think CNN was not hard on Trump for a reason. I think they knew that this is a litmus test to see how low the bar actually is for Biden. And after the first 35 minutes, which was dismal, I think it was like, okay, next. So that's a lot of people felt that way. A lot of people, know the fix is in. They know Trump may be sentenced to some type of confinement, if not jail. Now, what are they going to do now? They only have abortion in jail left. So we'll see where that goes.
Well, that's one of the things I thought about today. Is I think last night was great in a way. It was. I'll tell you, I was so impressed. As I even went back and watched a little bit more, little different pieces of it, not the whole thing, but some of it. You can't say enough about the president last night. Showed a bunch of stuff. Number one, he showed enormous poise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He showed enormous discipline. But I'll tell you what, it also shows that he obviously had conversations with people. He has people advised. He certainly had a game plan. And it just shows that he did listen to whatever the plan was. Maybe it was his plan and he just stuck to it. But I'm sure there had to be other opinions that said, "Sir, here's what you need to do. Here, here's what we can expect from him." I mean, it really showed that he could listen. He was different last night than he was in any other debate in 2020. Not even close to the same person. Yeah. I mean, it was really impressive.
Well, you know what I think it was? It was the slanted rules that they thought would be a benefit for Joe Biden. They actually benefited Donald Trump.
They said that early on.
Oh, yeah.
Because, let's face it.
Mics.
When you're talking over one another, that's tough to deal with. That's tough to, really get your point across and really win.
Yeah, it's like being on this show.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you have to sit back and just let the person, and we said it, let him speak, because he will bury himself, and he buried himself repeatedly. And it was glorious to see. I'm not sad, David. If I was at the America First warehouse, I would be cheering, because I'm not sad that this is our president. I'm happy that this is finally exposed to the American people, to all the people that were being lied to by by CNN, MSNBC, saying no, morning schmo. Oh, he's the best Biden I've ever seen. He is a garbage person.
Yeah, but it's all too easy. It's all too easy. And the pre-debate commentary by everybody was just pathetic. He's sharp. He's a statesman. Yeah. He's he can solve any international crisis. He's on point. They're all lying, and they're lying again today.
All right, we'll continue to reminisce about last night. Crazy Town will be a feature of last night. We'll get to that. Slick's going to have sports. We're going to have news. Big Supreme Court rulings today. We'll talk about those. Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night.
over the old man.
Yeah, elder abuse, right?
All right, we're live in the chat. If you're watching on social media, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, any interaction. We always appreciate it.
Yeah.
Whatever platform you're watching on, please make sure you subscribe or follow. That's the most important thing you can do, especially on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let's see who's going on here. Randy Mueller says, "What's up, Slick? You should all watch Sky News coverage of the debate." I love Sky News, man. They don't pull any punches. I can imagine what they were saying.
They had we got those clips.
I could imagine.
We got to find some clips this weekend. Oh.
Hello from Lubbock, Texas, Jesse. Sue, hello. Jeremy, glad you're better. Damon, thank you. I'm not there yet, but feeling better. The eye's not as sensitive tonight as it was Wednesday and Thursday. Let's see what's going on. Biden talked about his handicap, and Trump almost burst out laughing. Yeah.
He really took that as a.
Oh, that's really got the most, I think, upset.
That offended him. It really did.
Only golfers would appreciate
I played
that.
his side-by-side compilation of Biden speaking and Trump shaking his head at everything.
I've seen you swing.
Or smirking.
I swing. I swear to God, the way he delivered that. That and the, I don't know what he just said right there. And I don't think he knows what he said right there. Those are the two best moments of the night for me, by far.
Oh, man. The golf thing just kills me because he's such a freaking liar.
Yeah.
He was,
Pecos, Texas.
he was.
Pecos, Texas? Or
what do you call it? Was he the highest scoring football player in the state?
Oh, he was a state champion.
Some other bullshit that he was peddling out.
Right. Gangrene
anytime he talks. Just, he hit the ball the furthest. He was a baseball player, too, and, oh, my goodness. You should have seen
I'd rather watch you on Rumble. You can watch us on our Rumble. There's no commercials on our Rumble.
Let's get
at LFS6B. At LFS6B. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, comment. Any interaction helps get the word out, get the channel out.
That's it.
Almost 18,000 on X. Numbers were great last night. 65,000 on Facebook.
Damn.
Getting there.
8,000 on X.
I'm out.
Keep sharing, keep liking. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got some news. David Zier's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Glad you're in. Want to thank everybody who joined us last night. First of all, I want to thank Aaron and Fran most of all because they put all the work in to get that ready, get the set ready, move everything from this set to that set, get all the audio done. They worked hard to get that done, and I appreciate everything they did to make it happen last night. It's fun sitting over there on that set and just relax. It was a good format, right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good
Great
format
fun.
to watch it. Glad everybody tuned in to watch us watching the debate and react in real time, which I guess there were some places that just told CNN to go screw and did it anyways against their wishes, and I don't know if anything will happen, but with respect to the network, we didn't want to do that, so we figured we would just watch it and you could watch us, and that's what we did. But it worked out great. The numbers were great. Social numbers were great across the board. So I want to thank everybody who joined us. I want to thank Aaron and Fran for all their hard work. You guys as well. Kevin Downey Jr. for everything as well. He's been great all week.
He's been great.
All right, 18 past the hour on a Friday night. Let's start with some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B. When you shop there, it'll give you great savings off all the great stuff at Mike Lindell's. And, of course, if you use our code, send us your receipt showing that you did, and you'll get one of our shirts of the month absolutely free. You can request whatever you want, whatever color, size. We'll send it right out to you. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, we're going to go to the rodeo Friday night. You know where we like to go. We got to go to rodeo, live rodeo down in good old Texas. Where else, right? West of the Pecos Rodeo, Pecos, Texas, at the Buck Jackson Arena. Underway 26th through the 29th, so rolling right through tomorrow. Bareback riding leader, Leighton Berry, 87 points on Peacock Pro Rodeos. Foxhole Gunner, Steer Wrestling, second round, Don Payne, 4 seconds flat. Team Roping, also second round, Nelson Wyatt and Jonathan Torres, 6.2 seconds. Saddle Bronc, we got a tie. Jake Finley on Pete Carr Rodeo's Pretty Woman, and Sage Newman on Pete Carr Pro Rodeo's Smoke on the Water. Tie down roping, we have Caitlin Peck, 9.9 seconds in the second round. Barrel Racing, Kayla Costa, 17.62 tenths. Good time there. Steer Roping's third round we're in. Cole Patterson, 11.2 seconds. Bull Riding, Creek Young, 86.5 points on Pete Carr Pro Rodeos. Let's go, Brandon. All right. There you go. How apropos for that. Bull be rocking tonight down in Texas. $202,650 is the big payoff. So, of course, we're talking about the great golf champion that Joe Biden has professed that he is. But we got some dispute here. U.S. Open champ Bryson DeChambeau offers to settle Trump-Biden golf handicap debate.
Sure.
This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart Sports. Where else? During Thursday night's debate, Joe Biden again trotted out his claim that he has a 6 handicap in golf. Trump, of course, was skeptical, and in the wake of the debate, U.S. Open champ Bryson DeChambeau offered to help settle the golf feud between the two candidates. During the debate, Trump spoke of his physical fitness and golf expertise. Biden jumped in with his oft-repeated claim that he has a 6 handicap. A few seconds after he said 6, Biden tried to correct himself, saying he had an 8 handicap. After the debate, Trump blasted Biden for the claim, saying that's the biggest lie, and that he's a 6 handicap of all. Biden also offered to have a driving contest to see who was better off the tee, he or Trump. And Biden even claimed that he'd be better at carrying his own bag. Now DeChambeau is offering to help settle the issue. Let's settle this whole handicap debate. I'll host a golf match on my YouTube channel, he said in a post on X. Yeah, sure. But if anyone could settle the Biden handicap claim, they'd be the first. Biden's claims about his handicap are not only all over the map, but there have been hasn't been any documented proof of it either way. Over the years, several media outlets have parroted the 6 or 6.5 handicap claim, but others have said it is an 8 or a 9 or even higher.
Yeah,
So,
19.
yeah, we sounds like a lot of a joke here, but we'll see. Bryson DeChambeau putting it out there, right, Big D? I think we should have him at the Rav Golf Open.
Oh, that would be fun.
We get that going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have about as good a chance of Biden and Trump getting on the course as us having that open.
I saw something from Fieldstone Country Club in Delaware.
Did you?
I think Biden was investigated in 2001 by the FBI about his membership there. But
wow.
They say a 6.7. Do you know how hard it is? You played golf in college. I have 5 nephews who played junior PGA.
Good ones.
You're a 6.
Yeah.
You're really good. That's really hard to do.
There's no video footage of him, I think, ever playing golf.
Right.
No.
Where Trump, you've got tons of footage on him.
Yeah, and Trump hits it pretty solid.
Yeah, oh, sure he does. Absolutely. Well, he's a golfer
I have
at
some
heart.
footage, but actually it's not working. We're going to try to get it fixed. In the break.
Definitely. We got another golf story coming up with Trump and Biden a little bit later. Also, we're going to talk in my next segment about the crash of 19% on Nike. A lot of people are moving away from the Nike product. Wonder why. And that's a wrap in sports. Big D.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6P is the code to use if you're going to shop at MyPillow. And, of course, you can get our shirt of the month absolutely free. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com. LFS6B is the code, 10% off. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, of course, the big news being the aftermath of the debate, but also what to do now as Democrats are talking about replacing Joe Biden. Turns out, believe it or not, Democratic Party rules make it almost impossible to replace nominees without their consent, let alone smoothly substituting in someone else. His debate performance last night sparked a new round of criticism from Democrats as well as public and private musings. I almost said nursing homes. Musings about whether he should remain at the top of the ticket. In the modern era, a national party has never tried to adversarially replace its nominee, in part because it knows it would most likely fail. The issue came before both parties in 2016, but neither took action. What happens if Biden drops out before the convention? Well, the only plausible scenario for Democrats to get a new nominee would be for Biden to decide to withdraw, which he has sworn off repeatedly during other bumpy stretches in his campaign. And, of course, his wife ain't going to let him do it. He could also do so while serving out the rest of his term, as Lyndon Johnson did in 1968. If Biden were to drop out before he's scheduled to formally be nominated in August, it would basically create a free-for-all at the Democratic convention because there's no mechanism for him or anyone else to anoint a chosen successor. See, I didn't know that. Because I was always under the impression that once you get your delegates, then you kind of direct them to where you want them to go.
Super delegates.
Right, if you need them to do something. Biden so far has won 3,900 of the 4,000 delegates, and under recent reforms, the party's more than 700 super delegates. Democratic lawmakers and dignitaries are allowed to vote only if no one wins a majority of pledged delegates on the first ballot. So the votes could be crucial in a contested convention, which is what I think some people on the left are actually calling for. They're calling for basically a convention fight over this. So.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Barack Obama does not tweet what he tweets today if there's any chance to replace Joe Biden. I'm sorry, but it ain't happening, boys. Bill Clinton doesn't tweet what he tweets today if there's a chance to replace Joe Biden.
I disagree.
Unless they're looking at Jimmy Carter, because he only served one term. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's looking better than him right now.
Well, turns out leading House Republican
2 years ago.
The leading House Republican filed a resolution in Congress urging the Vice President, Kamala Harris, to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
Yes, believe it or not. Coming from one of our favorites, Chip Roy, who said, I intend to put forth a resolution calling upon the Vice President to immediately use her powers under Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the Cabinet to declare the President is unable to successfully discharge the duties and powers of his office. He tweeted that out early this morning. And the 25th, of course, ratified in 1967, sets up a process by which the VP and the majority of the cabinet can notify the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House that the president is unable to discharge his powers, enabling the vice president to become the acting president. So there you have it. Chip Roy stepping up.
I'm sure she'll get right on that for you guys.
Damon, I just feel like Biden's health is degenerating quickly, like more like in the last 6 weeks than even just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Could be. Could be that they tweaked his meds just to let it happen.
I mean, he looked like death worn over last night. Let's just be honest. What do you? I mean,
But he was
looked
pretty
way
good
better
today. He was better today.
Especially on the split screens where he was, the only thing missing from that open, gaping mouth was a hook.
Yeah.
Or oatmeal. All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Greg Kelly said Biden looked like a jack-o'-lantern last night.
Yeah.
He had such a weird...
Yeah, eyes were hollow. His eyes were hollow. Sleepy Hollow. Oh, the great Harry Oates.
Pretty funny.
Harry Oates
Big
is
D
here.
going right to the hard stuff.
What's up, man?
No,
He
waxes
plucks
them.
them
He waxes them.
one at a
That
time.
either. That's just the way they are. I think that's so funny that he thought that.
He was down at the Hong Kong Hair and Nails 20 minutes before the show. What are you talking about? Big D.
Where are you going all decked out, Harry, in the white shirt? You look like you're going out for a date or something. That's good.
You wear a white shirt and you look like you're going out on a
Walk
date?
fully in front of the camera. It's fine.
Look at him. Look at how he dresses. Anything with a collar is like,
Oh, man. Where's the wedding? Right back. Big
Okay.
the Fetterman of
You're going there after the show? They're closed by then, aren't they?
the Fetterman of 16.
Oh, really? I didn't get an invite.
Well, we were going to tell you in person when you were here, and I think Gianna came up from Tampa.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Gianna.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to know what that is.
She used to work there.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Gianna.
Oh.
Used to work there.
Oh, God.
I heard a good show.
David, just look up one
Last
second.
night?
Sure.
Yeah, it
You
was,
guys did a good show, is what I'm saying.
yeah, it was great. It was fun.
Great, we just hung out on the couch and drank,
Yeah.
Thank you.
ate,
Oh, really? Yeah.
and watched the Hindenburg go down in the Democratic Party.
Watch the Titanic start taking on water.
Right?
It was just terrible.
Dude,
To a point where you were like trying to root for him that hopefully he can get a sentence.
Oh, I don't think I could root for him.
I wasn't rooting for him to get a sentence out.
no, me either.
If he could have drooled on himself, I would have been.
He could have
ecstatic.
collapsed.
Or yet it depends on and probably cracked himself a few times. I know that feeling. It's not good.
You're hovering.
I'm hovering over you.
Yes. Why?
I don't know.
He's a hovercraft.
kind of creepy.
He's checking your notes.
Harry looks like Harry looks like a stranger who wandered into the set.
Hey, Harry, can I get 2 margaritas with that shirt?
Take an order, would you, Harry? If you're going to be here.
Take 2 margaritas.
I get you a margarita right ahead, sir.
Man, I got the JetBlue Berkelosis coffee.
Oh, you flew JetBlue?
No, I didn't fly JetBlue.
And then I'll come to 0.
Sure.
30 minutes past the hour. Is Harry still talking to me?
Yeah.
We're on
Yeah.
the air, Harry.
Yes.
Ay, ay, ay.
He has no concept of how TV
I mean,
works.
he's only been in TV his whole life. He walks in front of the camera, talks to me while we're on air, talks
Yeah.
without a microphone. I tell him all the time that.
He's the best.
That one drives me crazy. Talks without a microphone and thinks people can hear him. 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Slick's going to do sports. Delgado's going to, I can still hear him. Delgado's going to do the news. David Zier's going to do some news as well. Darren Beattie, big piece today over in Revolver. The left has to replace Joe Biden. Here's why they can't. So I'll get to that in a little bit. Slick did some sports. Let's do some more news before we get to David Zier with Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by 7cells, 7cells.com. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. I know this is a little heavy on the debate news, but there's so much of it. So many different angles that are being, are coming out in terms of articles. Like this one coming out of Fox News. White House staffers' mood is so abysmal that a lot of them chose to
Work
take
from
the day
home.
off. Yes, work from home.
Yeah. Oh, boy, I'm not feeling too good today.
Yeah.
I got to get my resume in order.
According to CNN, the rank and file of Biden's White House are devastated by the president's performance in Thursday's debate. And CNN senior White House correspondent Kayla Tushel, or whatever her name is, reported Friday that a lot of the rank and file are so devastated by his performance they are unable to even show up to work.
Sure, little snowflakes had a... come on.
His demeanor, the president's demeanor, sparked yet another national conversation about his ability to serve. And while his team is publicly standing by the president, some are privately panicking, you would think. The Biden campaign just believes that they need a little bit of time for the dust to settle.
Yeah.
The dust in his brain.
They're waiting to hear from their real boss, Barack, and he's now tweeted, so...
To move forward. They plan for the president to stay in the race and to debate again in September. As a matter of fact, I heard a report. He wants to do a debate before that. He thinks he did such a good job
Sure.
that he wants to do another one.
I didn't hear that. I heard the September one on ABC, I believe it is. But
That'd be nice.
I heard today that he actually believes, and this is the narcissist that Joe Biden is. This is the guy, he thinks he's the smartest person around. Everybody else is below him.
Yeah.
So he thinks he did great.
yeah.
That's the problem. And then you have his enabling wife who's just, I think she's a viper, man. I think she is the worst type of person that you can imagine to have as a wife, especially for a doddering old fool like this, because she's going to keep him up there. She wants to keep propping him up there. And then, of course, it makes you wonder, well, who's making these decisions? Because it definitely ain't him. He was away for a week, and that was the best you got. So who's making the decisions on running the country? And it kind of makes you think, it's like, is it her? Is she the one who, or is it by committee of all these unelected, liberal wackos that they have working in the White House? It makes you wonder. Inside Politics with Dana Bash. Let's see. This person said Hunt recounted. I guess the name of the person, Casey Hunt from CNN, recounted talking to a bunch of the rank and file. The mood inside the building is not good. They describe the tone of the group chats among staffers as ugly. They say everyone is deflated, and a lot of people chose to just work from home, saying, we're just commiserating. We didn't want to do it at a desk. So there you have it. the stuff coming out of the White House.
Well, at least Keith Olbermann took it well. He only went on air today and said that CNN should get everybody out of the building, tape up all the doors, and then burn it to the ground because they're a disgrace that they didn't have a fact checker there to fact check Trump, he said.
Fact check him on what? That's my question.
You're going to have a fact checker. He would have been more busy with Biden live, by the way, than Trump by far.
Yeah.
By far. And Biden gets out there today and says, well, I may not speak as smoothly as I used to. I may not walk as easily as I used to. I may not debate as good as I used to. But one thing about me, I know what to do is I know how to tell the truth, he says, which is just,
which is another lie. Right?
Is there a single politician that's ever walked the earth that we have more audio and video tape of them lying than Joe Biden? The answer, no.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just crazy. But that's this White House, and that's the kind of person you're dealing with. Switching gears real quick, I know we were talking, you mentioned two major decisions coming out of the Supreme Court. This one earlier today was one of them, in a major blow to the unelected administrative state. The Supreme Court has overruled the Chevron doctrine, which required courts to defer to the legal interpretations of unelected bureaucrats. Basically, the Chevron ruling has been overruled. It's massive. In simple terms, the Supreme Court ruling means that courts must use their own judgment when deciding if a government agency is acting within the legal authority. They cannot simply agree with an agency's interpretation of law just because the law is unclear. So basically what it says is all these agencies that create these rules, hey, your time is up. It's over. It's over. The party is over. Now, actually, you have to make laws, which means the Congress can't just go, well, we're not sure what we're going to do with that, and let it sit out there. Now it puts the onus on the House and the Senate to actually work together to create a law, which is great for the people because that's going to be less laws. Because they don't like to make law.
I deal with this my whole life in building, commercial real estate. The EPA just comes in and says, "Oh, there's a puddle in front of your property.
Right.
Oh, it's a wetland.
Yeah.
It's a rare and endangered species in there." And then they just do it arbitrarily. And Trump was great at relieving a lot of regulation.
One of the Bitcoin guys I follow, Balaji, I don't know exactly what he's become famous for. I think trading. I think he made $1 zillion last year, and when he traded, he had shorts against some company that everybody thought was going to go up and whatever. But anyways, he said Chevron dominance today. Technology is about to accelerate because Chevron deference is now over. Regulators can't just make up laws anymore, so countless new business startups just became feasible again. This is often spoken about in the abstract, but let me give you 3 examples of why this is so huge. Think about genomics. Did Congress explicitly give the FDA authority to regulate genetic tests in a bill? No, it did not. But in the early 2010s, the FDA attacked 23andMe and sites like that and forced them to take personal genomic tests offline. Implicitly, this was under Chevron that they did this. Nuclear power. Did Congress explicitly give the EPA and the NRC the authority to implement ALARA? No, it did not. But these agencies came up with this as low as reasonably achieved standard, forcing nuclear energy to become as expensive as other energy sources by spending all the cost savings on safety. Implicitly, this was done under the Chevron as well. Cryptocurrency, you guessed it. Did Congress explicitly give the SEC authority to regulate crypto? No, it did not. Cryptocurrencies didn't exist when the 33 and 34 acts were written. However, the SEC says it has regulatory authority over crypto, even when Congress is deliberating on bills right now to the contrary. Implicitly, that claim of the SEC authority was too under Chevron. In other words, if a regulator can't point to the law that gives them the power, they may not have the power, and you might be able to win in a court of law. So this is a huge ruling for many, many reasons.
It changes the playing field.
Take some of the
like
politics.
you said, a lot of the times, these businesses decide, well, there's too many rules, we're not going to go forward.
I've seen situations where landowners, I helped write the Pine Barrens Act of Long Island to protect 110,000 acres of pine scrub, which protects 17 trillion gallons of drinking water, but we also fought for builders' rights. And they just came up with this arbitrary number based on this garbage for a transfer of development right credit that would credit people for sterilizing their land. But it was not at fair market value. It was against Fifth Amendment rules. They just went ahead and made these arbitrary rules. And I watched about 2,000 landowners get screwed out of their fair market value for their property. So not only was the Fifth Amendment case, but you had this inside legislation, and you had the agencies making the rules that the legislation was based on. And I felt it was very unfair. We watched it happen, unfold right in front of us. A lot of people got screwed.
Yeah.
All right, 39 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some more news with Delgado, but let's do some news right now with the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I guess want to give it a little preview of your 8 a.m. show tomorrow morning, David Zier, then you can do some news.
Yeah, I have Jonathan Tobin on. He's the editor-in-chief of the Jewish News Syndicate, senior contributor to The Federalist, columnist for Newsweek, regular contributor to Washington Examiner about Israel, taking off the gloves preemptively with Hezbollah in Lebanon, trying to wrap up the Gaza incursion and all the other stuff that's exploding over there. And then I have the founder of the Let's Go Brandon coin, James Koutalis, and he's going to explain. He's an attorney, crypto trader. He had an agreement with NASCAR. NASCAR, I think, reneged on it because they're kind of getting pressure and they're woke and all that. And there's a new lawsuit filed on that, so he's going to educate our audience on what's going on with that. And then I have this great guy, Jay Bieber, executive director of the policy of National Motorists Association, and he talks about the imposition of ridiculously low speed limits coupled with proliferation of automated ticketing machines to penalize us for the simple act of driving, removal of travel lanes to back up traffic, a tax on every mile we drive, breathalyzers built into cars, which is part of the Infrastructure Act. We don't know how that happened, which will come to you in 2026, a banning of internal combustion engines, kill switches, congestion taxes, car-free zones. So don't miss Jay Bieber. He's really good, and he tells you how to get involved. I think it's motorist.org, but watch the show 8 a.m. tomorrow Eastern on Real America's Voice News. And I also just wanted to get into a couple of quick stories here. There is a tale of two Scarboroughs. Let's go to cut number 8. Joe Scarborough before debate, after debate, which was a story for a lot of these people in media.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
Oh, yeah.
He's so tough.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
Oh, yeah.
Not a close second. I've known him for years.
Yep.
The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years.
Oh,
if it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. But can he run for president in 2024?
This is after.
Donald Trump lied over and over and over and over again. And Joe Biden couldn't respond to any of those lies.
I love how they say he lied.
Give us
he
some
lied.
specifics.
Well, tell us what it was.
Yeah,
because we don't know what you're talking
Sure, and the left is saying the debate was skewed, but there was an analysis, I think I saw it on Newsbusters earlier, that said only 3 of the questions were actually skewed against the left last night. And then PolitiFact, USA Today rated Trump. Biden got 100 on truth-telling, and maybe Trump got 100% false rating, that everything he said last night was a lie, and they said Biden only lied 44% of the time. So if you want a reality check on what really happened last night, don't read that article. And I have one more thing here. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans earning over $150,000. This is in Zero Hedge today. Worry about making ends meet, and 15% of them are taking on second jobs. And that index they're using is up from 21.7% to 32.5% dissatisfaction. So even the higher income brackets facing the economic pressures across America. So
Marriage counselor needed, aisle 3, MSNBC in the morning. Marriage counselor needed, aisle 3, MSNBC in the morning.
yeah.